At the end of the first half, Patrick Mahomes appeared to tweak his right ankle, a similar injury to what he was previously dealing with, and in this video, we'll talk through it and how this could affect his play the rest of the game. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Sutterer, and if you're new here and enjoy learning about the underlying anatomy and mechanisms of sports injuries, then consider subscribing to stay up to date with all my future videos. Mahomes, of course, was dealing with a high ankle sprain on this right side and looked pretty good in the first half before this play where it does look like he tweaked the ankle and could have led to an aggravation or worsening of that high ankle injury. Of course, we're focusing here on his right ankle. So if we walk through the sequence of events here, the first thing that we see is the foot plants in some dorsiflexion, meaning the toes are up towards the shin. That's dorsiflexion. What that does is it locks the ankle mortise and puts some initial tension on that syndesmosis, the high ankle sprain ligament. Then as this play continues, we'll notice how his foot goes into this externally rotated position, meaning it's pointed outward while his knee is still pointed forward. So now we've got a dorsiflexed ankle locking the ankle mortise, external rotation, widening that AITFL ligament, potentially leading to an aggravation of a high ankle sprain injury. Now, I know people are going to say he looked like he was walking without a limp. This is no big deal, but Mahomes was in clear pain on the sideline, and pain is a sign that something in the body, something in the joint has been torn, has been injured, and is sending those pain signals to the brain. So this is not just some minor thing that I think will have no impact on the rest of the game. Next, we'll walk through our biodigital anatomy tool to talk about what structure is involved and how the rest of the game might be affected based on how the high ankle sprain ligament is loaded. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. This video is sponsored by Raycon, the makers of my favorite pair of earbuds, the everyday earbud. The first thing I like about these is just the build quality. My first pair I've had for over a year. I keep them in my gym bag. I've thrown them around, tossed them around. They've gotten sweaty, dirty, and those things still work and sound just as good as the first day I got them. And you don't have to break the bank to get this quality. Raycon start at just half the price of other premium audio brands. And you don't have to just take my word for it. They have over 50,000 5-star reviews, so there's a lot of trust out there in the quality of this product. For me, it's a perfect shape and size that fits nice and snug, insecure, comfortable in your ear. I never have to worry about it coming out when I'm exercising or at the gym. And it's a nice low profile for those online web calls. There's a couple of listening modes. If you hard press the nice tactile button, you can enter either a noise isolation mode or a noise awareness mode if you want to be sure you can hear the things around you. The everyday earbuds have 8 hours of playback time, and this really nice USB-C and wireless charging case gives you an additional 32 hours of charge time. Ready to buy something with a big impact? Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/BrianMD to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. It's a great value for some premium sound, and I've been super happy with them, and thank you, Will, as well. With our triple box, I've highlighted the high ankle sprain ligament. It's the AITFL. That stands for anterior because it's in the front, inferior because it's the lower tibiofibular ligament. You might remember Steph Curry had a superior tibiofibular ligament. That's going to be all the way up much higher at the knee, but this is the inferior down at the ankle, and then tibiofibular ligament. You'll also hear this referred to as the ankle syndesmosis, but what it's doing is it's keeping the fibula bone and the tibia bone anchored tight together around the talus, and that's that ankle mortise joint that I'm talking about. When you dorsiflex the ankle or the foot, meaning you bring the toes upward this way, you basically lock this ankle mortise between the tibia and the fibula, so it's more secure, it's more rigid. There's less ability for the foot to kind of move around. So then when we look at this play here with Mahomes, you can see when he goes into that dorsiflexed position right about there, that's going to lock that ankle mortise. That's going to stick that talus up there tight between the tibia and the fibula and put more pressure on that low syndesmosis, the high ankle sprain ligament, if there is any external rotation. So now we've got that talus that's locked between the tibia and the fibula. We add in that component of external rotation, and what that does is this talus bone then basically rotates. As it rotates outward, that pushes the fibula and the tibia apart, which stresses this AITFL, that high ankle sprain ligament. This is basically similar to what happened against the Jaguars with the initial injury. We can see that ankle gets locked, dorsiflexion, and then that motion comes in, pushes the ankle into external rotation, which was the initial injury to that syndesmosis. The reason why high ankle sprains are so difficult to treat and take longer to recover from is that every time you take a step, every time you plant, you're loading that ankle mortise and you're putting more pressure on that AITFL ligament to make those bones want to fall apart. It's different from a traditional low ankle sprain where you might not be stressing those ligaments with just step backs, with planting. And so for Mahomes, every time he goes back to step and plant on that right foot, it's gonna load that syndesmosis, it's gonna load that AITFL ligament and potentially lead to more pain. Unfortunately, there's not a great way to tape these either. Sometimes what we'll do is just basically wrap tape around the ankles circumferentially as tight as we can to try and provide some external support to squeeze that fibula, squeeze that tibia together. But this isn't something that you can easily tape like a traditional low ankle sprain. So it's something that I expect is definitely going to affect him the rest of the game. And again, we have to be worried about a repeat injury that could be made worse with an unstable ankle, or just how this will affect his mobility. I'm recording this just before halftime, so we'll see what develops in the second half, but hopefully this was educational to take another look at these high ankle sprain injuries and have some sort of repetitive learning here. Let me know as always any questions or comments down below, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.